Before I begin, I want to reiterate something. Let me assure you that we would not be here today were it not for my mom, Jerry McCormick. Love you, Mom. I said firecracker nailed it, I'll tell you. I remember Mom telling me a story not too long ago about an evening kind of early on in their marriage. You had all four of us. And Daddy was really involved in the community, like delivering babies all day, come home tired. Mom said one evening he came home from a school board meeting, and he said, Jerry, I just don't know, I'm getting a lot of opposition about encouragement. He said, I might just turn to my practice and spend my time here. And she said, Charles, you're an educated man. You have a medical degree. You're an articulate man. You're a compassionate man. This small community of you that needs you. Now, is that the power behind the throne? I love it. And Dad continued. Dad continued to serve his community, as you heard later on becoming the mayor of Hayes. You know, our family is honored to be here today. Thank you so much for introducing the grandchildren and the great-grandchildren. They are overjoyed. I see, in some of the pictures, I see things that remind me of how he kind of hold court with his grandchildren or his great-grandchildren. He was indeed a great storyteller. And I want to say, too, as I look around, this is an amazing facility. We were blessed to come in June and have a wonderful tour. It is amazing. And I'll tell you, one of my favorite pictures is over here. And my kudos first to whoever designed this and the construction crews. But one of my favorite pictures is of Mother standing amongst the hard hatters there. And if I can say, Mom and Dad were loving, caring people. And no matter what you were doing in their lives, they wanted you to know that they appreciated you and they valued you. Now, allow me to share on kind of a personal note with you. I guess, John, you and I'll get down to the nitty-gritty. Being a child of Dr. McCormick, I don't know where you begin to tell what that was like. How did he influence my life? As you know, I spoke Spanish at the beginning of my talk. My dad instilled in me a love of the Spanish language, the Spanish culture, the Spanish people. And I'm looking around, I gotta tell you something. There are, let's call them adults for today, that I taught at Hayes High School. Could you just stand? There are a few of you that can. Please stand. It just blew me away. John, you have to stand too. And let me tell you that story. When I finished at the University of Texas, I applied for a job teaching Spanish around the Central Texas districts. And Hayes hired me. And I was so thrilled. At that time, Gary and I were newly married, living in South Austin. And I thought, it's a quick commute out to the brand new Hayes High School. That would be wonderful. The next day after Hayes had hired me, I got a call from Austin Independent School District offering more money. And the actual location of the school is a little closer to our South Austin apartment. I remember talking to Dad about it. I said, Dad, I can make a little more money in Austin. And he had a rather forlorn look and he said, you know what? When I was president of the school board, Debbie, we would think that we had all those spots filled for teachers, and then they get an offer from the Austin Independent School District, and they would leave us high and dry. Maybe the end of August to try to fill those positions by early September. He said, you know, don't you? I knew it was coming. You need to do the next right thing. And I did. I had a glorious time teaching. And by the way, your dad, buddy, was my superintendent, Matt Johnson. Great experience. But that's what I want to leave with you today. Dad was the kind of dad who taught his kids to do the next right thing. It's been alluded to what a great storyteller Dad was. Indeed, my kids, they'll tell you they have fond memories of him kind of holding court, as someone said, on his couch. He would tell stories about early Buda, about his medical practice, in fact, about his parents. We learned a lot about our ancestors. I have to tell you that. He'd tell stories about, we learned GTT meant gone to Texas. He'd tell about ancestors that came from Kentucky and Tennessee, and how he loved to tell jokes. Nobody could deliver a punchline in a joke as flawless as my dad. Shortly before his death, I want to tell you one of his stories. I've never heard it. It was, those of you who grew up, had your roots in the Hays County, you know that Onion Creek can become pretty vicious. Well, one stormy night, Dad received a phone call from a young cowboy, and he said, Dr. McCormick, my wife's in labor. I can't get across Onion Creek with her. He said, would you be willing to come out, and I'll help you get across the creek and deliver the baby? And you know, my dad said, yes, I'll come. And Dad said, he made it very dramatic. He rode to the top of the hill, he looked down, and there was that. He did have to mention that the cowboy was big and muscular. He said that cowboy had tied a rope to a large cypress tree, and he motioned to Dad to come on, I'm going to throw you the rope, you tie yourself. So Dad held up his medical bag, and that strong cowboy pulled him across Onion Creek. That night, a healthy baby boy was born. Now, why do I tell you that? It so epitomizes my dad's character. You know, he might call you, or you might be called to do something, and he would go that extra mile. That's what sticks in my mind. Not only go the first mile, he would go the second mile. Like his maternal grandmother, Granny Mercer, and some of my cousins from Dallas are here. We love Granny Mercer. My dad loved the 23rd Psalm in the Bible. There was one particular passage that said, my cup runneth over. But we as kids, when we achieved something extra special, Mike was elected to the Court of Criminal Appeals as a judge, Dad would say, my cup runneth over. John followed in Mom's footsteps and was a postmaster. He would say, my cup runneth over. Dad had an incredible insurance agency in Austin, and I heard Dad say, my cup runneth over. And I thought, that's where I wanted to leave these words with you today. If I can speak for Mom and our family, our cup runneth over. In closing, I'd like to challenge Bravo faculty. I've been there. How about those service days? Hey, I'll tell you, you're special. You're the front lines. God bless you. I want to say to the faculty, to the staff, to the administration, to the school board, students and parents. I've met some lovely parents today and lovely students. I think the greatest honor that you could give my dad, who we've all turned to as a man of integrity, he was disciplined. I think the best gift that you could give to him would be for you to show your integrity, your discipline, your excellence, and your service. And as you would say in Spanish, sean ustedes servientes. You all be servants. God bless you.